Hey there, what's up? Why is the word there? Welcome back to my channel, Melanated Messages. If you are new here, my name is Verena Lake and I do makeup tutorials for black women with hooded eyes. It's so good to have you back here on the channel, and welcome if you are here for the first time, like I said. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how I got this fun bright orange look. It was actually orange / tangerine inspired. I thought about doing it for a while now, and I just decided to just execute it now. So if you want to see how I got this look, then definitely keep on watching. First things first, I'm going to take this normal blending brush or your traditional eyeshadow brush, and I am going to use this transition shade here, and I'm going to put that all over my eye, but more or less concentrating it on my eyebrow bone. Like I said, I'm just focusing that right on the brow bone here, because I'm just want this to be as blended as possible. This is going to be more or less like a one eyeshadow type of look. Now I'm taking this brush, and this is actually a new brush that I got, similar to this brush. It's the same shape. This one is a little shorter in terms of the fibers, but this one is actually a lot denser, so it picks up a lot more shadow than the other brush. So I'm just going to go into the orange here, just kind of put it all over. Again, tap off the excess, and again, eyes open for the hooded eye girls. You know, we gotta do what we got to do. Listen, the techniques that I give you guys, they work. You see them work for me. Once you practice and you use them and you just follow the tutorial, then they can work for you too, okay? And of course, if your eyes are a lot more hooded than mine, then you will just have to tweak it a bit, but the principle or the foundation of the messages that I'm giving you guys, they work, okay? So I'm just pouncing that. I'm not blending it, but I'm just tapping it all over here. And now this is the orange that's going to go all over my eye, but I just prefer to just start on the edge first. Now for so again, because I know how high the shadow is going to look, or how it's going to look when the final look is done, so that's why I keep my eye open, and then I just do this. Okay, so now I have the orange all over my eye. Now you did see me just tap it in initially, but if you are a little pressed for time, what you can do is just gently swipe the shadow down at first here, and then you just continue to tap all over to deposit the color. And yes, don't worry about if you can see harsh lines for now. Remember, you're just doing this to make the color get as vibrant as possible. And then we're going to go back to this brush, which is what we use to put down that blank eyeshadow, and I call it a blank eyeshadow because it matches my skin tone. So when I put it on my skin, it's like you don't see anything. That's why I call it a blank eyeshadow. And the eyeshadows in this palette, they are not named, so that's why I never reference any of the names, because they don't have any. So again, I'm going to go back into this color here, tap it off, and now just gently focus on the edges, and I'm using little circular motions like this all around, and the goal of this is for it to look as airbrushed as possible. Blend your eyeshadow sis. You know, I probably tell you guys this in every tutorial, because I know what it feels like to leave the house with your eyeshadow looking blocky, and it just wasn't cute. So I'm here so you wouldn't have to live through those traumatic experiences. And again, when you reach to the edge, you kind of want to, like I said, drag out your shadows like this. Or at least I like the way that looks on my hooded eyes. I just figure whenever I'm doing my makeup, I don't like to do it in a circular motion. Like, I don't curve out my eyebrow tail. I don't apply my eyeshadows in a circular motion all around. I do kind of drag out or extend the edges of it, just so it makes my eye look more open and elongated. Now the next step is us going to create our green wing. So now I'm going to take my concealer. This is the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Warm Honey. This is the lightest color concealer that I have. If you do have something that's lighter, then it would be better, or if you have an actual white eyeshadow base, then you can go ahead and use that as well. And I forgot to add that at the beginning of my tutorial that I did prime my eyes using the Crayon Case washable eye glue stick. This, I actually thought this would be white, but it actually is a yellowish orangish color, but it dries on clear. And then I did use a little bit of Warm Honey over it once it dried down, and then I set that with my compact powder. You have to prime your eyes before you do any eyeshadow, because that is going to give you more pigment, okay, and it's going to cause your eyeshadows to last longer. And if you're anything like your girl here from Melanated Messages and you have oily eyelids, it's even more essential for you to do that. So that spot that you see here at the back of my hand, that is just a little pool that I made with my concealer. And now I'm taking this extremely small eyeliner brush here, and I'm basically just going to use this as if it were an actual liquid liner and create my wing with it using the same methods that I have already shared with you guys. And once again, if you are new here, I got you covered, girl. You can ask about me. I give all the tea. I don't leave out any steps, and I try to be as thorough as possible. But I do already have several videos where I explain how to do a wing on your hooded eyes, but you're going to see a little bit of that just using concealer. And don't sleep on concealer, guys. Concealer is a very, very versatile makeup product. Like, you can use it like a bunch of different ways to do different things. What I'm going to do is draw a line like this on the side, and I just have to make sure that it's almost like the same size with the wing that I drew already. So excuse me if I am looking down a bit. I'm just watching into my mirror. Okay, boom. So now that we have that initial line, now what you want to do, just observe the creases that you have there in your eye. Yes, for like the hooded eye queens out there. So know your eyes. So then you see that crease line, that big line, very prominent line you see in my eye. I don't want to cross it. So what I'm going to do is just make a dot, bloop, just like that. So now I'm resting this here like that. And then I am just going to drag it, but I am not going to pass that initial box that we made. And don't be afraid if it looks messy. It is concealer, and you can always go ahead and clean up the edges afterwards. But if you do want to make this bigger, you only extend it from the base, not the top. Now, honestly, guys, if you wanted a beige liner situation, not just with this look, but any other look, you could literally just use this concealer hack I'm showing you. Let this bad boy dry down, and then boom, you have like beige liner. It's like that simple. So you could actually, well, after you clean this up, you could actually like just leave this like this, or put some glitter on this and bam. Okay, but I am going to let this dry down a bit, and then we're going to put the green on top. So now I'm taking this very tiny brush, detail brush, and I am going to dip it into this green shade here, and just put that everywhere where the concealer is on my eye. And like I said in a previous video, I do have a video talking about what are the best brushes for hooded eyes. The main takeaway from that video is you want to use small brushes that give you precision and control, because our eyes are already small, okay? That's the T for hooded eyes. And in that video, I did show you how you can use other brushes that may not be the right size for you, but how you can make them work. So definitely go ahead and check them out. I will link them somewhere in the cards above. I'm basically just going to place this. You see that green dot? That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use the detail brush and just carefully place that in the area where I have mapped out with the concealer. Before I go to that next part, don't forget to follow Melanated Messages on Facebook. That is under this same name, Melanated Messages. I am _Melanated Messages on Instagram, and of course like this video and subscribe to the Melanated Messages channel. Okay, we're giving you melanin realness over here, and I got your hooded eyes covered, sis. So the first thing I did was I used this glitter primer. This is actually what came with the glitter that I have, and this is the glitter, and I literally just use what's in the cover of the container. This was actually a gift, and it doesn't have like a brand name on it. I've had this glitter for a while now, so sorry I can't tell you the name. And I'm also taking this double-sided brush that has a spoolie on one end. This is actually an eyebrow brush. One thing about me, I'm going to use what I have to make it work, okay? You can give me one brush and I'll probably use it in like 10 different ways for you. Period. That's being resourceful. So now what I am going to do is essentially I'm just going to put a line of that glitter primer on the top of the green, not too much that it covers it, but not too high up. And I'm going to do the same thing here, which is why I was telling you earlier that if you do mess up a little with the green, like don't get too mad, because the very edge of the green, it's gonna be covered with glitter anyway, sis. What you want to do, I have my brush sideways and I am just ever so slightly pushing it against the edge of the line until I reach the end, and then when I'm coming inward I switch it. So I had it like this pointing, I had it pointing on the outside, but now when I'm switching it, the spoolie is facing that way now, and I'm just going to do the same thing. Okay, so when I have that, now you can actually see the line of where I have it. Then I'm also going to be using the glitter as an inner corner highlight as well. So when I reach the corner of my eye, I basically just put it all here. So now that that is done, what I did is, you know, I always have a piece of tissue near me when I'm doing my makeups, okay? This is how I am able to use one brush to do many different things, because I clean them off while I'm using them. So I'm going to take this same brush now, again go into the cover of the glitter. I'm basically going to repeat the same thing that I did where I put the glitter primer. So this is what we're looking like after we have put down that glitter. Now I'm going back to the tissue that I have, and I'm going to clean off this brush once again. And then now I'm going to take my MAC mixing medium and then put a line of that on top of the glitter that we just put over our green liner. If once again, if you are new to my channel and this is the first tutorial that you're using, I like to set my glitters twice, or use a base for them twice, once before and once after, because I have hooded eyes, because this really keeps that glitter in place. Somebody else who doesn't have hooded eyes may only just need to use one coat of this underneath their glitter and then they're good to go, but I need that extra security. Okay, I need to make sure that this is not going to transfer all up on my eyebrows. This is why I'm doing this. And now I'm going to do the same thing where I'm just gently pressing it. Very little pressure when I'm doing this, okay? Very little pressure. So now I'm going to move on to the rest of my face, darling, and then we're gonna come back to the eyes when I'm done. So make sure you stick around for that, okay? Okay, so now for today's foundation, I am going to be using it from Fenty Beauty, from our favorite Caribbean girl after me. So yes, this is from Rihanna's makeup line, Fenty Beauty. One of them I'm sure we all know. So, and then I'm going to place little dots, and I'm kind of blending it out with my finger at the same time while I'm initially putting it. Now I'm taking my damp beauty blender, and like, by the way, this is not actually a sponge from the Beauty Blender brand itself. It's like one of those dupes that they sell all over the place now. And then after, when I'm done, I take it and I blot it at the back of my hand to pick up the extra foundation, and then I just blend it out. And so when you're doing your foundation, you want to pounce it on your face, so it's like tap tap, but you're not staying in one area. So you're basically doing two motions at once with your hand. You're tapping, tap tap, and then doing it in a circular motion. And what I like to do is this is my setting spray. This is the Sacha Fix It setting spray, and I'm taking this just to block my eyeshadow because I don't want it to become wet. I'm going to spray some. And you can also spray your beauty blender with this, and you're just going to press that into your skin, and this helps your foundation and your makeup to last all day, because you know, even if the coronavirus is outside, it's still hot girl summer, period. People will see this beat 6 feet away, okay? So now I have my LA Girl Pro Conceal, and this one is in the shade Chestnut. This one is actually my skin tone shade, and I'm using my concealer brush, and I'm just going to put that under my eye. If you were watching closely, you would notice that I did not really focus a lot of foundation directly under my eye, and this is the reason why. It's because I put my concealer under here. Again, when you're reaching towards your eye, you can literally just take this and just drag it up, just to clean up our wing from earlier. Now taking this smaller beauty blender, I'm just going to go ahead and blend this out in my brush, and I am going to apply that under my eye. I use a brush as opposed to the applicator because it's just so much easier and it gives me more control. And I usually just draw somewhat of a triangle shape, but I don't pass hair of my nose. I'm going to blend that out. Usually I would add another concealer to it, which would be the warm honey color that we used on my eyes earlier, but I'm not gonna do that today because I don't want it to be so much of a bright highlight. So after I have blended out Fawn, I'm going to take my Sacha Buttercup powder. I'm going to dip my sponge into it. Now you see all that powder that it picked up. I'm not going to go directly under my eye with this. Again, our back of the hand reliable. I'm going to tap it here. Now look at all that extra powder that came off, and After I dabbed off the excess, then I'm going to do you want to make sure you're looking up when you're doing this so that you can really get into the creases of your eye. So after I'm done, I'm going to take my big fluffy brush here and I'm just going to place this under my eye like this and then just do one gentle sweep. Same thing for the other side and here. Okay, so now it's time to contour and I'm using the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette. I am using the darkest color on the side here and an angle contour brush. You want to have this angled so that it can perfectly fit into the curves of your face. Now this product is very dark, so I barely use any and I still tap it off. Next, I'm taking this e.l.f. highlighting brush. Using that same contour palette, I'm going to be using the highlighter. Again, if you're new, what I like to do when I'm doing my highlight is apply it in a C shape, well, a backward C shape, so on the tail of my eyebrow and then all the way here, so that when I turn to the side, you can see your future in my highlights. And I am going to highlight my already big nose, and you can't stop me from doing that. So now it's time to complete the eyes, and I'm going back to my matte book palette and I am taking this color. So I'm actually going to use both of these greens here and I'm going to just use the same small detailed brush from earlier to just sweep that under my eye. So I'm using the lighter green in the inner corner, and then as I reach to the outer part here, I'm going to be putting the darker green of the two. So I'm going to add some lashes and a gloss and I'll be right back. Girl, can nobody tell me that I do not look good, okay? Okay, this is who did this. Melanated Messages, remember the face, remember the beat. Period. Okay guys, so I actually wanted to do an ombre neutral lip or nude lip, but then I just decided to go with a clear gloss all around. So that's literally the only thing that I put on my lip. No liner, nothing, nada baby, nada. This is the only thing that I put on my lip. This is lip gloss in the shade Minimalist from the Lip Bar. You know how we do over here, or if you don't know, we support black owned businesses over here, okay sweetie? Okay sweetie, that's what we do over here. So I got the gloss online, but guys, look at this. Thank you so much for joining me in this tutorial, and this was actually orange inspired or tangerine inspired, if I did not mention that earlier. And yeah, this was very simple, very cute. This is actually daytime wearable. I would actually go out like this without there being any like special occasion, but that's me though. And I really loved the way this came out. It's fun, there's a nice pop of color, but I'm still not doing too much because everything else is just pretty matte, and I love it. I hope you do too. And if you did like this look or the tutorial in general, definitely go ahead and smash that like button, and also let's become part of the Melanated Messages crew. Okay, I will try my best to respond to all of your comments. I really love interacting with you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.